Welcome everyone to another session of Bharat Ke Paramveer. I, Kaustubh Savan, on behalf of Indoscience Education Trust, would like to hand over the mic to Veteran Group Captain Shrikant Valvadkar sir and start this session.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to the 11th episode of Bharat Ke Paramveer. Today, 24 January 2021. After 2 days, 48 hours, we'll be celebrating the Republic Day. Remember, Bharat is important, the nation is important. So our all efforts, our all energies must be to protect this country, to ensure that we are a value addition to the rising Bharat of the 21st century. Let's move forward. Our ritual, respect and regards to all these 21 Paramveer diamonds in the necklace of Bharat Mata, their families, their generations. We feel obliged and we feel we owe a lot to these heroes and their families. अब तुम्हारे हवाले वतन साथियों. Today's episode will be taking us to the brief summary of Paramveer Chakra, on Second War. Heroes were awarded with the highest gallantry award, Bharat Ke Paramveer. First one, today's hero is CQMH, Company Quartermaster Havaldar Abdul Hamid. He, of 4 Grenadiers of Indian Army, he got posthumous award for his bravery on 10 September 1965. Second Paramveer Chakra awardee is Lieutenant Colonel Ardeshir Burzorji Tarapur of 17 Horse or Pune Horse of Indian Army for his bravery on 11 September 1965. We lost him on 16 September 1965. So he was also an award winner posthumously. These 2 episodes are dedicated to the unsung heroes, martyred, injured, alive or no more, and their family members who suffered enormously as a result of the 1965 war with Pakistan and all the previous wars India fought. Every Indian, along with all their generations, will remain indebted to these forever, these heroes forever. These are photographs of these 2 Paramveers of 1965 war, both posthumously. CQMH Abdul Hamid, Paramveer Chakra, today's hero, and Lieutenant Colonel Tarapur, PVC, at the age of at the age of 42, he received the Paramveer. CQMH Abdul Hamid, Paramveer Chakra, 1st July 1933 to 10th September 1965, total 32 years of stay on this planet. But he found the meaning in the life and life in the death, meaning to the death also. Let's move for the brief summary of 1965 war. It is also known as Second Kashmir War, one of the repercussions of the 62 war humiliation. Pakistan felt perfect time to attempt another bid to take over Kashmir because they presumed, and to some extent it was true, that 1962 debacle in Sino-Indian War, the Indian morale was very low, economy was stumbling, we were just 15 years young nation, trying to rise, and then we faced the war and the humiliating defeat of 62. Economy was stumbling. India lost her Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, and the second Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri lacked his charisma. In addition to the above presumptions, Pakistan was confident of United States aid of 200 Patton tanks, 2 bomber squadrons, and 4 Sabre jet squadrons, and 1 supersonic fighter squadron at its disposal. They were overconfident. They also presumed that local Kashmiris did not want Indian rule and would join its efforts when they enter Indian territory and attack India. Operation Gibraltar, create insurgency by stealthily pushing troops into J&K. More than 25,000 men, armed, trained, and aided by Pakistan, crossed the LOC and entered Kashmir, disguised as locals. Same old idea of 1947. The Indian army got support from locals. That was the wrong presumption on the part of Kashmir, on the part of Pakistan, that Kashmiris will support them. They don't want to stay with India. That was proved wrong to the world. Pakistan termed it as a local unrest against Indian rule at international fora and planned attack on India. 15th August, India destroyed guerrilla bases, captured Hajipir. Enemy attempt to capture Akhnur failed. On 6 September 1965, Indian Army crossed the international border and the second war with Pakistan started. Battle of Asal Uttar in Khemkaran sector, now called as the Patan Nagar, and Battle of Chavinda, two famous tank battles in the war after Second World War. Heavy loss of life for both the countries. India was at advantageous position. Hajipir was captured. Indian Army was knocking at the doorstep of Lahore. While declining stockpiles of ammunition, Pakistani leaders feared the war tilting in India's favor. Therefore, they quickly accepted the ceasefire. Despite strong opposition from Indian military leaders, India bowed to growing international diplomatic pressure and accepted the ceasefire. On 22nd September, the United Nations Security Council unanimously passed a resolution that called for an unconditional ceasefire from both the nations. The war ended the following day, 23rd September 1965. Tashkent, the leaders of Pakistan and India met at Tashkent and agreed to the ceasefire conditions. Now let's move to our today's hero, Abdul Hamid. Before talking about it matters, what is your value addition to the armed forces? So especially for civilians who do not understand this, that is what is important. That even if you are a soldier or NCO or JCO or an officer, it does not matter. What matters is how you contribute to the. I wish to repeat a point again and again for everyone, every Indian to know that it does not matter what rank, what level of entry you join the armed forces. What matters is how you perform at that level for the safety of the nation. What is your contribution, value addition to the armed forces? That matters. So whether you join as a soldier or airman or NCO or SNCO or JCO or an officer, what matters is how you contribute to the security of the nation, to your work, and how honestly you do your work. That is what is important. So let's talk about life before joining army of our hero, Abdul Hamid. Abdul Hamid was born on 1st July 1933 in the village Dhamupur in Ghazipur district, the then United Province of British India, now Uttar Pradesh. His father, Muhammad Usman Idrishi, was a tailor, and mother, Sakina Begum, homemaker. Second point I wish to make here is that it doesn't matter what your father is, what your mother is, how much they have learned, what they do, how much they earn. It's irrelevant. When you go for selection, selection is yours. The personality who has come for getting selected, that matters. So remove from your mind those complexes that you are from village, you are not studied English medium, it doesn't matter really. The opportunity is once given, how you make gold out of that opportunity, that matters. A family of 4 brothers and 2 sisters, challenging background, teaches one to challenge the challenges and makes them competent to overcome it. What I mean to say is that the challenge is challenges to only those who are competent to overcome it. So that is what happens. Abdul Hamid challenged the challenge and was a winner towards the end of his life. His primary schooling was at local Dhamupur village. He passed 8th standard from junior high school at Deva, nearest town. He was a nature's child, enjoyed wrestling, swimming, hunting, and gatka. Gatka is a local sword fight in Uttar Pradesh. He got married at the age of 14 to Rasulan Bibi. He was blessed with 4 sons and a daughter. On 10 September 2017, 52nd anniversary of Abdul Hamid's martyrdom, a function was attended by the then Chief of Army Staff, now Chairman CDS, General Bipin Rawat. We lost Rasulan Bibi on 2nd August 2019 at her home in Dhamupur village of Ghazipur district in Uttar Pradesh. She was 90 years age. Yes. Postal Department has taken out a stamp on Abdul Hamid, Paramveer Chakra holder. She is Rasulan Bibi. We lost him. She was Prime Minister now. We lost him when she was 90, recently in the 2019. The function that was conducted at Varanasi, when she personally went to Delhi and invited the then Chief of Army Staff, General Bipin Rawat, and he attended that. He touched her feet, saying that she's like my mother. This is our culture. This is our culture. And we, the armed forces people, follow the culture religiously to the extent that everybody should take example from it. Life after joining army. There is a tremendous change when you join army. Within 6 months, your parents, your friends will observe the change in you. At 20 years of age, he was recruited at Varanasi into the army, training at Grenadiers Regimental Center at Nasirabad. He was posted to 4 Grenadiers in 1955, initially in Rifle Company, followed by RCL. He served with the battalion in Agra, Jammu Kashmir, Delhi, Nefa, and Ramgarh. He participated in the Sino-Indian War of 1962 as part of 7th Infantry Brigade. The brigade, which was commanded by Brigadier Dalvi, John P. Dalvi, and who had to face the first attack at Namkachu, and he was taken as a prisoner of war. So they participated in Thangla, Namkachu battle. Their commander, 2nd Lieutenant G.B. Rao, who received Mahavir Chakra for his efforts to safely bring back his men in the situation via Bhutan to Misamari on foot. After ceasefire, unit moved to Ambala, and Abdul Hamid was appointed as Company Quartermaster Havaldar, CQMH of an administration company. He was also one of the NCO instructors. When Pakistan attacked in Run of Kutch area in April 65, 4 grenadiers was moved forward. They collected the 106 RCL guns from nearest ordnance depot. CQMH Abdul Hamid was asked to take over anti-tank detachment in the commander. CQMH Abdul Hamid was a very good marksman, an expert anti-tank gunner with a new anti-tank gun at disposal, made a big difference to the outcome of war. Actions, we'll go to actions of a Paramveer. Ghazipur is famous for 2 things, opium factory and Paramveer Abdul Hamid. Dhawalpur is the nearest railway station from where Abdul Hamid caught the train to go to Varanasi to join the unit and move to Khemkaran sector where they're supposed to be fighting the war against enemy. 3 small incidents happened. Again, our culture, there are some emotional issues. We call it bad omen, as per his wife. 3 small incidents before he went for fighting the war. When he was he's packing up his luggage, his hold all rope snapped. His wife said, "Don't go now, please don't go. It's a bad omen. You should not go today." Then he did not agree. He said, "No, I went for 62 war. Didn't I come back?" He told his wife, trying to counsel her. Then while going to the railway station, his friend he had put the trunk and a hold all on a cycle, and they were going towards the railway station when the cycle chain broke. Second bad omen. And then when he reached the railway station, he missed his train. Everybody told him, turn back, go next day. But then he was so involved in the, and again, this is the representation of the armed forces personnel. Every person will be like this. So that is the character. He caught the train in the midnight and went to Varanasi. The unit moved to Khemkaran. 8 September 1965, 0900 hours, Abdul Hamid and his RCL company waiting for the enemy to give them chance to prove their bravery. Sugarcane fields provide required safety and camouflage. Abdul Hamid, on the passenger seat of his jeep with mounted RCL gun, is aware of Pakistan have launched an attack with a regiment of Patton tanks. Patton tanks was the thing known in the world because it was manufactured by United States of America. So everybody was waiting for it. Everybody was praising these tanks. Soon he hears a rumbling noise of armor and sights a few tanks heading towards his battalion. Now the aim, you have to take the aim towards the incoming tanks are coming. Wait for them to in your shooting range and shoot. When within the tanks reach 30 yards, there are 3 tanks, one in the front position and 2 on the side positions behind. He takes he points his RCL gun, waits for the tanks to reach 30 yards from them, and he orders shoot. Next thing is the tank is burning. Enemy is afraid, front tank is burning, and the 2 tanks are abandoned by the enemy. They run away. He orders his driver to reverse and change the location around 11:30 hours. Face heavy artillery shelling followed by a familiar rumbling sound of patterns. Binoculars in hand, Abdul Hamid observes 3 more tanks in the same formation heading towards India. The Braves once again follow the drill, aim, wait, shoot when in range. Tank in the front starts burning, rear 2 tanks are abandoned, same result and same response. By the end of day 2, by the end of the first day, 8 September, 2 tanks are destroyed by Abdul Hamid. Abdul Hamid's battalion is facing a brigade level attack. Engineers are asked to lay mines as a support for RCL company of Abdul Hamid because only RCL company will not be able to resist them to the extent that they are stopped. They do their best in available time and situation. They lay mines. On next day, 9 September 65, Abdul Hamid and his colleagues are in high spirits, are back on the job, but the challenges have increased exponentially. Suddenly they hear aircraft over them. Pakistan Air Force help the army tanks on ground, and Sabres are hovering over them. Sabres, another American weapon in the air, fire at them. Unfortunately, not much of damage. After airstrike, the rumbling of patterns is again heard. RCL team with Abdul Hamid in command is ready to take on the enemy. By the end of the day, Abdul Hamid and his team has destroyed 2 more tanks. Remarkable achievement indeed at the World Forum. 4 tanks have been destroyed in 2 days, and 8 tanks have been abandoned by the enemy. A satisfied soldier of an Indian army sleeps well that night. His citation has been sent for Paramveer Chakra on 9 September. 10 September 1965, probably the last day of his life. Yes, that's the last day of life of our hero, CKMH Abdul Hamid. 3rd day at the Khemkaran sugarcane fields of Punjab. 4 grenadiers come under heavy shelling from enemy. followed by assault of enemy pattern tanks. Formation of 3 continues. Their exercise starts. SOP, aim, wait, and when in range, shoot. Now on 10 September, he blows it up, quickly asking the driver to change the location. They miss getting hit by a tank shell due to this fast action. You have to be dynamic, you have to be very, very active. Had they not left that place within that time, they would have been hit. They shoot down another tank, 6 in total. By now, enemy has noticed the jeeps of Abdul Hamid and his team with RCL gun on top of it. Enemy concentrate firing on the location of jeep. Enemy tank crew and Abdul Hamid had spotted each other and both aim, wait, and shoot at each other when in range. Tank is blown up, but jeep also is destroyed. Noise of loud crash, screams of pain, followed by complete silence. Abdul Hamid is dead. He has blown up 7 enemy tanks, more than an armored division can expect, individual, single-handedly. For his remarkable achievement, bravery, and courage, Abdul Hamid is awarded the Paramveer Chakra posthumously. The 4 grenadiers get Battle of Honor of Asal Uttar. The Khemkaran, that battle is called Asal Uttar, real answer. And Theatre Honor Punjab. For the first time in the world's military history, a battalion with just RCL has fought off an armored division and caused so much of damage. This is a record in the world history. Official citation for the Paramveer Chakra. At 0800 hours on 10 September 1965, Pakistan forces launched an attack with a regiment of Patton tanks on a vital area ahead of village Chima on the Bikivin Road in the Khemkaran sector. Intense artillery shelling preceded the attack. The enemy tanks penetrated the forward position by 0900 hours. Realizing the grave situation, Company Quartermaster Havaldar Abdul Hamid, who was commander of an RCL gun detachment, moved out to a flanking position with his gun mounted on a jeep. Under intense enemy shelling and tank fire, taking an advantageous position, they knocked out the leading enemy tank and then swiftly changing his position, he sent another tank up in flames. By this time, the enemy tanks in the area spotted him and brought his jeep under concentrated machine gun and high explosive fire. Undeterred, Company Quartermaster Havaldar Abdul Hamid kept on firing on yet another enemy tank with his RCL gun. While doing so, he was mortally wounded by an enemy high explosive shell. Havaldar Abdul Hamid's brave action inspired his comrades to put up a gallant fight and to beat back the heavy tank assault by the enemy. His complete disregard for his personal safety during the operation and his sustained acts of bravery in the face of constant enemy fire were a shining example, not only to the unit, but also to the whole division and traditions of the Indian Army. Gazette of India notification number 111, press 65. What a bravery it is. Now for girls, for ladies, remember this. When one is born, God has given a choice to make. And my appeal to you is make a correct choice. Live a meaningful life. You never lived until you have almost died. And for those, life has a special flavor. The protected will never know. This is the posthumous Kirti Chakra holder, Captain R. Subramaniam. Captain, remember what could be his age? Less than 25. This is what armed forces make you. Your personality shines. At a young age, you join the armed forces. Your thought process, thought level changes. You are with a purpose. What does armed forces offer you? It offers you financial security. Yes, everybody needs it. It offers you dignity in the society. Yes, everybody needs it. And last but not the least, it offers you purpose for living. My appeal to all young generation is try and live a meaningful life. Food for thought. Soldiers don't die when bullets pierce their hearts and heads through their uniforms. They don't die when they fall before an enemy onslaught or even when they get buried in trenches, staining the earth with their warm crimson blood, worshipping Mother India with their warm crimson blood as per traditions of Indian Armed Forces. It's only when we forget their acts of bravery and or suffering of their physically alive families that the soldiers die. Rachna Bishrawat in the brave. My appeal to every Indian, everybody, irrespective of age, gender, location, religion, caste, you should not be one of them. Finally, Rashtraya Swaha, Idam Rashtraya, Idam Namama. Jai Hind.